Greetings, everyone. Today I stand before you to speak about something profound and urgent, something that demands our attention not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. The title of my speech is We Must See It Before It's Too Late. Life, as we know it, moves fast. The clock never pauses, and every moment that slips away takes with an opportunity for transformation. Yet, as individuals and as a society, we often fail to notice the glaring truths and subtle signals all around us. We miss the signs of the earth's distress, the cries of humanity, and even the call of our own inner selves. The essence of what I share today is not just about external challenges, but also about the inner blindness we suffer from. The world is not something out there, it is a reflection of who we are within. If we fail to see the truth of this connection now, we risk losing not only the planet but also our very essence as human beings. ChatGPT said ChatGPT, or planet, is a delicate web of interconnected systems that support life in all its forms. From the forests that generate oxygen to the oceans that regulate temperature, every element works in harmony to create the conditions necessary for survival. However, this intricate balance is under threat due to the relentless actions of humankind. The air we breathe is becoming polluted with harmful emissions from industries and vehicles. The water that once flowed freely and cleanly is now tainted with chemicals and waste. The soil that provides us food is being eroded and depleted of nutrients. These changes may seem incremental, but they are cumulative, and the impact is devastating. Consider the melting of polar ice caps. It's not just a distant phenomenon, it's a sign of rising temperatures that disrupt ecosystems globally. Wildlife that depends on stable habitats is struggling to adapt, leading to a cascade of effects that threaten biodiversity. The extinction of species is not just a loss for the natural world, but a loss of essential threads in the fabric of life that also sustains humanity. Climate change amplifies this fragility. Hurricanes are becoming stronger, droughts longer, and wildfires more intense. These are not isolated events, they are warnings that the Earth's systems are reaching breaking points. Yet, despite the visible consequences, we continue to exploit resources unsustainably, assuming that nature will endlessly provide and regenerate. What makes this fragility even more alarming is the illusion of invincibility we carry. We assume the earth will endure, forgetting that it is finite and vulnerable. The truth is, the planet will survive even if it becomes inhospitable to us, but humanity may not. It's not just about saving the environment, it's about preserving the conditions that allow life as we know it to flourish. The fragility of our planet is a call to action, a reminder that every decision we make has an impact. If we do not address this vulnerability now, we risk leaving a scarred and unlivable world for future generations. Seeing this fragility clearly and acting on it is not just an option, it is a responsibility. Progress is often celebrated as the hallmark of human achievement. We marvel at towering skyscrapers, advanced technology, and the convenience of modern living. However, beneath the surface of this progress lies a hidden cost, one that we often overlook or dismiss in our pursuit of more. The Industrial Revolution and subsequent technological advancements brought unprecedented growth and comfort, but they also marked the beginning of large-scale exploitation of natural resources. Forests were cleared to build cities, rivers were diverted to generate power, and fossil fuels became the backbone of our economy. These actions, though innovative, came at the expense of ecological balance. With every leap in progress, there is an unseen erosion of something fundamental. Take agriculture, for instance. While modern farming methods have increased food production, they have also depleted soil health, polluted water sources with chemical runoff, and driven biodiversity loss. Similarly, urban expansion has provided homes and jobs for millions, but it has also displaced wildlife, increased carbon footprints, and created sprawling concrete jungles that trap heat and pollute the air. Even in our personal lives, the price of progress is evident. Technology, which connects us to the world, often disconnects us from those closest to us. The constant push to achieve more, produce more, and consume more leaves little room for reflection, rest, or genuine connection. Progress in this sense has made life faster but not necessarily richer or more meaningful. The economic systems that drive progress are built on the premise of endless growth. But can there truly be infinite growth on a finite planet? The relentless pursuit of profit often disregards the long-term consequences, leading to climate change, resource depletion, and social inequalities. This approach benefits a few in the short term but threatens the well-being of everyone in the long run. It is not progress itself that is the problem, but the way we define and measure it. If progress continues to prioritize material gains over ecological sustainability and human well-being, it will inevitably lead to self-destruction. True progress must be holistic. It should uplift humanity while respecting the limits of nature. The price of progress, then, is a question of choices. What are we willing to sacrifice and what are we determined to preserve? Until we recognize the cost of our actions, we risk building a future where progress serves only as a monument to what we lost. Humanity's relationship with nature has undergone a profound shift over time. In the past, people lived in harmony with the natural world, recognizing their dependence on its cycles and resources. Rivers were revered, forests were sacred, and the earth was seen as a living entity that sustained life. Today, that sense of connection has been replaced by a mindset of dominance and separation. We no longer see ourselves as part of nature, but as masters over it. Forests are viewed as timber, rivers as utilities, and wildlife as resources to be exploited. This disconnection has led to a culture where nature is seen not as a partner in our survival, but as a commodity to be consumed. The consequences of this shift are everywhere: polluted air, depleted soil, poisoned water, and a planet that is increasingly struggling to sustain life. Modern lifestyles exacerbate this disconnect. Urbanization has pushed us into cities where the rhythm of nature is replaced by the hum of machinery. Many of us live lives where we seldom touch the earth with our feet, see the stars without light pollution, or hear the rustle of leaves in the wind. We have forgotten the joy of watching a sunrise or the grounding effect of walking barefoot on grass. This disconnection isn't just an environmental issue, it's deeply personal. As we move further away from nature, we lose something essential within ourselves. The natural world is not only our home but also a mirror of our inner state. When we cut ourselves off from it, we become fragmented, anxious, and unbalanced. This is evident in the rise of mental health challenges and the growing sense of emptiness in a world of material abundance. Indigenous cultures and ancient wisdom have long understood the interdependence of all life. They remind us that nature does not belong to us, we belong to nature. The earth is not something to be conquered but a living system to which we are intricately connected. This understanding is not outdated, it is essential for our survival. Reconnecting with nature is not about abandoning progress or going back in time. It is about remembering our place in the web of life and acting with reverence and responsibility. Simple acts like planting a tree, spending time outdoors, or reducing waste can begin to heal this disconnect. On a larger scale, embracing sustainable practices and protecting natural habitats are steps toward restoring balance. Humanity's disconnect from nature is not irreversible, but time is of the essence. The more we alienate ourselves from the natural world, the more we jeopardize our future. Reconnection begins with awareness, humility, and the recognition that to care for nature is ultimately to care for ourselves. The modern world is a cacophony of distractions, a relentless stream of noise that permeates every aspect of our lives. From the moment we wake up to the hum of notifications on our devices to the constant buzz of urban life, we are enveloped in an environment that demands our attention at every turn. But beneath this noise lies a deeper problem: the erosion of silence, focus, and inner peace. Technology, while a remarkable achievement, has become one of the primary sources of this noise. Smartphones, social media, and 24/7 connectivity have created a reality where we are perpetually on. Every beep, buzz, and pop up drags us further away from the present moment, fragmenting our attention and leaving us restless. The sheer volume of information we consume daily is overwhelming, yet often lacks depth or meaning, leaving us both overstimulated and unsatisfied. Life is constantly communicating with us, both through subtle whispers and loud alarms. The earth, our bodies, and even our relationships send us signals and something is out of balance. Yet, more often than not, we fail to notice, dismiss, or outright ignore these warnings. This negligence, whether intentional or accidental, comes at a great cost, one that becomes painfully evident when the consequences can no longer be avoided. The natural world is filled with such warnings. Rising global temperatures, melting glaciers, and extreme weather patterns are all signals of a planet in distress. Species are disappearing at an alarming rate, ecosystems are collapsing, and resources once abundant are now becoming scarce. These signs are not isolated, they are interconnected symptoms of humanity's unsustainable practices. Yet, despite their urgency, we often choose convenience and short-term gains over meaningful action. Our bodies, too, send us messages when they are pushed beyond their limits. Fatigue, stress, and recurring health issues are the body's way of saying, slow down, something isn't right. But instead of listening, we mask these signs with temporary fixes, caffeine, painkillers, or sheer willpower until the underlying problems manifest as chronic illnesses. It is only when the damage becomes irreversible that we realize the importance of the warnings we ignored. Even our relationships carry signs of neglect or strain. Miscommunication, unresolved conflicts, and emotional distance are signals that something needs attention. Yet, in the busyness of life, we often prioritize work, ambition, or distractions over the people who matter most. The warning signs are there, but we fail to address them until bonds are broken and the opportunity to repair them has passed. Why do we ignore these warnings? Sometimes it's because we are too absorbed in the immediate demands of life. Other times, it's because acknowledging them requires change, and change can be uncomfortable. It might mean confronting hard truths, altering routines, or letting go of deeply ingrained habits. But the cost of ignoring these signs is far greater than the discomfort of addressing them. To heed these warnings, we must cultivate awareness and humility. Awareness allows us to notice the subtle cues before they escalate into crisis, while humility reminds us that we are not invincible. Paying attention to these signals, whether from nature, our bodies, or our relationships, gives us the opportunity to act before it's too late. The warnings we ignore are not punishments, they are opportunities. They are the universe's way of urging us to pause, reflect, and realign. By listening to these signs and responding with care and responsibility, we can avert disasters and create a more harmonious existence for ourselves and the world around us. Modern living is not just loud in a literal sense, but also figuratively. The pressure to achieve, compete, and keep up with societal expectations adds to the noise. We fill our schedules to the brim, multitasking through life without pausing to reflect. Even moments of quiet are invaded by internal chatter, worries, anxieties, and the endless replay of past and future scenarios. In this constant din, we lose touch with ourselves. The silence needed for introspection, creativity, and genuine connection is drowned out. Without these moments of stillness, our minds become cluttered and our well-being suffers. Stress, burnout, and a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction are direct results of living in this unceasing whirlwind. The natural world offers a stark contrast to the noise of modern life. A walk in the woods, the sound of waves, or the rustling of leaves reminds us of a simpler, more balanced existence. These moments of quietude are not just refreshing, they are essential. They ground us, reconnect us with the rhythms of life, and offer clarity amidst chaos. Escaping the noise doesn't mean abandoning modernity, it means reclaiming control over our attention and energy. Setting boundaries with technology, practicing mindfulness, and carving out time for stillness are small but powerful steps. When we turn down the external noise, we create space to listen to our inner voice, to others, and to the world around us. The noise of modern living is not just a symptom of our times, it is a challenge to overcome. In choosing silence over noise, presence over distraction, we don't just find peace, we rediscover what it means to truly live. Inner blindness is a subtle yet profound condition, one that affects countless individuals without them even realizing it. It is not the inability to see with the eyes, but the failure to perceive with the heart and mind. In a world so focused on external achievements and appearances, many of us remain unaware of the depths within ourselves, the very core of our being that holds clarity, purpose, and peace. This blindness begins with distraction. We are consumed by the demands of daily life, endlessly chasing goals, deadlines, and material gains. Our attention is so focused outward that we forget to look inward. As a result, we lose touch with our emotions, values, and inner compass. We may achieve great success in the eyes of the world, yet feel a gnawing emptiness because we have neglected the most vital aspect of existence, self-awareness. Modern culture often feeds this blindness. We are bombarded with messages that define success in terms of possession, status, and external validation. Social media amplifies this by creating a facade of perfection, urging us to compare ourselves to others rather than reflect on who we truly are. In this constant striving, we suppress our authentic selves and fail to recognize the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. Inner blindness also manifests as a lack of empathy and connection. When we are disconnected from our own inner world, we struggle to understand the experiences of others. This can lead to judgment, conflict, and a sense of isolation. Humanity's greatest strength lies in its capacity, yet inner blindness dims this light, leaving us fragmented and divided. Overcoming inner blindness requires courage and effort. It begins with the willingness to pause and reflect, to silence the noise of the external world and turn inward. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help us reconnect with our thoughts and emotions, peeling back the layers of distraction and uncovering our authentic selves. Awareness is the antidote. When we become aware of our inner world, our fears, desires, and motivations, we gain clarity and insight. This awareness allows us to break free from automatic patterns of behavior and make conscious choices that align with our true values. It also opens the door to deeper connections with others, as understanding ourselves enables us to understand those around us. Inner blindness is not a permanent condition, it is a veil that can be lifted. The journey to self-awareness may be challenging, but it is profoundly liberating. By seeing ourselves clearly, we can live with greater authenticity, purpose, and harmony. And in doing so, we illuminate not only our own path, but also the world around us. In today's world, we are witnessing a crisis that runs deeper than politics, economics, or environmental challenges. It is a crisis of values. The principles that once formed the foundation of humanity's collective consciousness, compassion, integrity, humility, and responsibility, seem to be eroding under the weight of modern priorities. This crisis is not just a societal problem, it is a reflection of the inner disconnection within individuals. The relentless pursuit of material success and external validation has overshadowed the importance of ethical and moral grounding. In a world that measures worth by possessions and achievements, values such as kindness and empathy are often seen as secondary or even dispensable. The focus has shifted from who we are to what we have, creating a culture of comparison, competition, and discontent. This crisis of values is evident in the way we treat the planet. Exploitation of natural resources, disregard for ecological balance, and a consumer-driven mentality have placed short-term convenience above long-term sustainability. The Earth's well-being is no longer seen as our shared responsibility but as someone else's problem. This lack of stewardship stems from a fundamental failure to value interconnectedness and accountability. It is also visible in our relationships. The bonds of trust and respect that hold communities and families together are weakening. Individualism, though empowering in some respects, has often been taken to extremes, leading to isolation and division. In the absence of shared values, conflicts escalate and collaboration becomes difficult, leaving society fragmented. Technology and media have amplified this crisis by perpetuating superficial ideals. In the age of instant gratification and curated realities, depth and authenticity are often sacrificed for appearance and popularity. The stories we tell ourselves and the images we project no longer align with the deeper truths of what it means to be human. The consequences of this crisis are far-reaching. Without a foundation of values, decision-making becomes short-sighted, prioritizing profit over people and convenience over conscience. It creates a vacuum where greed, corruption, and exploitation can thrive. At a personal level, it leads to a sense of emptiness as achievements devoid of meaning fail to bring true fulfillment. Yet, amidst this crisis, there is hope. Values are not lost forever. They are dormant, waiting to be revived. Change begins when we choose to live with awareness and intention. Small acts of kindness, honesty, and gratitude can ripple outward, inspiring others to do the same. Families, schools, and communities can nurture these principles by modeling them and prioritizing emotional intelligence alongside intellectual growth. Ultimately, addressing the crisis of values is about returning to what truly matters. It is about recognizing that the strength of a society lies not in its wealth or power, but in its ability to care for one another and the world it inhabits. When we realign with these deeper truths, we not only restore balance to our lives, but also create a legacy of integrity and compassion for future generations. Awareness is the foundation upon which all meaningful change and growth are built. It is more than just knowledge or perception, it is a deep understanding of what is happening within us and around us. Awareness enables us to see the world clearly, make conscious choices, and navigate life with wisdom and purpose. Without it, we are like ships adrift at sea, carried by external forces without a sense of direction. In our daily lives, awareness is what allows us to recognize patterns, habits, and behaviors, both constructive and destructive. It helps us understand why we react the way we do, why we make certain decisions, and what truly motivates us. This self-awareness is crucial because it is the first step toward personal transformation. Without seeing ourselves honestly, we cannot hope to grow or overcome our limitations. Awareness also extends beyond the self to our interactions with others. It helps us to listen deeply, understand perspectives, and respond with empathy. In a world often divided by conflict and misunderstanding, awareness fosters connection and harmony. It reminds us that every action we take impacts others, creating a ripple effect that shapes relationships and communities. At a larger scale, awareness is essential for addressing societal and global challenges. Issues like climate change, inequality, and social injustice are rooted in a lack of awareness about their causes and consequences. When we become aware of these issues not just intellectually but viscerally, we are more likely to act with urgency and responsibility. Awareness transforms apathy into action and ignorance into empowerment. However, awareness is not a passive state. It requires effort and intention. In the noise of modern living, distractions pull us in countless directions, making it easy to lose focus. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and reflection can help cultivate awareness, grounding us in the present moment and helping us see clearly amid chaos. These practices sharpen our ability to observe without judgment and to act from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. The role of awareness is not limited to solving problems. It also enhances the richness of life. When we are fully aware, we experience life more deeply, the beauty of nature, the joy of connection, and the subtle rhythms of existence. It allows us to savor the present moment instead of being caught up in the past or future. Awareness is the key to unlocking our potential and addressing the challenges of our time. It bridges the gap between intention and action, between knowing and doing. Whether it is in understanding ourselves, connecting with others, or caring for the planet, awareness empowers us to live with purpose, integrity, and compassion. It is not just a skill to be cultivated, but a way of being one that holds the promise of transformation for individuals and the world alike. The power of collective action is one of humanity's greatest strengths. Throughout history, individuals coming together with a shared purpose have driven revolutions, ended injustices, and sparked meaningful change. It is in our unity that we find the ability to tackle challenges that would be insurmountable alone. Collective action amplifies individual efforts, turning solitary voices into movements that echo across time and space. At its core, collective action is about recognizing that we are part of something larger than ourselves. No matter how capable or resourceful an individual may be, their impact is limited when acting alone. But when people join forces, pooling their skills, ideas, and resources, they create a synergy that can overcome even the most formidable obstacles. The results are not simply additive, they are exponential. This power is evident in social movements throughout history. The civil rights movement, women's suffrage, and environmental activism all began with individuals who inspired others to unite for a common cause. What started as small groups of committed people became transformative forces that reshaped societies. These movements remind us that even the smallest spark of collective action can ignite sweeping change when fueled by shared purpose and determination. In today's world, collective action is more important than ever. The challenges we face, climate change, global inequality, and pandemics are complex and interconnected. They cannot be solved by governments, organizations, or individuals acting in isolation. They require collaboration across borders, cultures, and ideologies. When nations, communities, and individuals come together with a shared vision, they can leverage diverse perspectives and resources to find innovative solutions. Technology has expanded the potential for collective action. Social media platforms and digital networks enable people to connect and mobilize on a global scale. Campaigns that once took years to organize can now gain momentum in days, uniting millions behind a cause. However, the same tools can also divide and distract, making it vital to channel these platforms intentionally and ethically for the greater good. The essence of collective action lies in the power of shared responsibility. It is about recognizing that each individual contribution matters, no matter how small. A single vote, a donation, or even raising awareness can ripple outward, inspiring others to act. When people feel empowered to contribute, they become part of something larger than themselves, fostering a sense of purpose and belonging. Collective action also requires leadership, trust, and cooperation. It is not without its challenges, differences in opinion, conflicting interests, and logistical hurdles can impede progress. Yet, when guided by clear goals, mutual respect, and a commitment to the greater good, these challenges become opportunities for growth and innovation. The power of collective action is a testament to what we can achieve when we set aside individual differences and work toward a common goal. It reminds us that no challenge is too great when faced together, and that the strength of a united effort can bring about change that shapes the course of history. In unity, we find hope, resilience, and the promise of a better future for all.